Yo, you planning on starting a t-shirt business in 2025? Let me see if I can help you out. What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brandoh, and today we're going to be talking all about starting your new t-shirt business in 2025. These are just helpful tips and some business advice from myself. I've been doing this thing for a few years now. I've sold thousands of t-shirts, and this is just some advice I wish somebody would have gave me before I got started. Now, if you're thinking about starting your business, or you've been planning your business and you're planning on launching in 2025, these are some of the things that I would really look into and kind of focus on. One, to help with the successful launch, but two, really just to set yourself up for success. And the first one is know your customers. Whenever any of us want to start a business, we're thinking of a million different things. We have to do the strategizing of the business, planning out the business. We're also doing the marketing and the advertising for the business. We're also the production part of the house, where we're doing all the printing, all the pressing, all the sourcing of blanks. So we're also doing R&D for the business. We're also the bookkeepers. We're also the accountants. We're doing every single part of the business. So we're stretched pretty thin. The main thing I would say to focus on is the customers. And when I say customers, before you launch a product, before you launch a service, before you launch your business, understand who you want to sell your t-shirts to, who you want to sell your services to. This is something that's looked at as doing once the business is started, but I found it to be way easier to know your target audience first before you launch anything, before you try to sell anything, before you try to go out and market anything. Knowing exactly who you want to sell to is going to be the biggest benefit to you and your business. So know your customers, know your target audience, know exactly who you want to sell that shirt to, who you want to sell your services to. And why do I keep saying sell your services? Because a lot of you guys that are watching operate as a print shop. You guys are getting into the t-shirt business to print for others. So you're not really selling t-shirts, you're selling your service, because you're going to be printing for other people. Now, if you're getting into this business to sell your own t-shirts, meaning you're starting your own brand, maybe you're starting an Etsy shop where you're starting to sell your designs on t-shirts, that's when you're going to be actually selling t-shirts. But if you're printing for other people, you're selling your service. So know who you want to sell your t-shirts to before you do anything. Figure out your target audience. What lane do you want to be in? Who do you want to sell to? What kind of designs are you creating, and who should benefit from those designs? Knowing all that is going to help the design process. It's going to help your marketing strategy. It's also going to help you target exactly who you want to be wearing your clothes. So that way you can design stuff for that person specifically. It's always easier to sell something to somebody who already has a general interest in whatever you're creating. So if you're starting a brand and you're probably in your head like, yeah, I want the world to wear this brand, and that's cool. And that's a really good goal to have. But in reality, the world isn't going to take notice to your brand right out the gate when you launch. So what you're going to want to do is understand who you're going to sell to, make stuff for that group of people. This is ultimately just going to help your sales, help your launch, and help you put in the reps to help strengthen your business and grow your business. Now, if you're selling a service and you're operating as a print shop, figure out who you want to actually sell your services to, who can benefit from your services. Yes, the world can benefit from your services, but in reality, who can you reach out today to actually benefit from your services? Who within an arm's reach can benefit from your services? This is who you need to focus on. Are you going to be printing stuff for restaurants, bars, breweries, lounges, speakeasies, stuff like that? Are you going to be printing for clubs, motorcycle clubs, car clubs, youth service organizations, social clubs, family reunions? Or are you going to be printing for other clothing brands? Are you going to be looking at targeting different up and coming clothing brands so you could print their merch for them? They handle the sales, you handle the production. All of that stuff right there is gonna feel very overwhelming, because you probably say yes to every single group that I said, but you have to pick a group and actually go after that group to try to get their work. So understanding who you want to sell your services to, or who you want to sell your t-shirts to outside of your friends and family. Most of you are thinking like, well, my friends and family are going to be helping out. They're going to be buying from me. They're going to support my business. But that's cool. You're not getting rich off your friends and family. You need to be able to sustain your business outside of your friends and family. So who are you going to be selling to? Focus on that and put all of your attention into figuring that out. Because if you do not do this and you start the business first and you do everything from picking your blank t-shirts, to getting the transfers made, to designing the products, and then saying, all right, now who should I sell this to? Now you're working backwards. Now you're trying to make somebody buy something that they're not interested in. Instead of knowing who you want to sell to first, create something that they have interest in, and then offering that product to that end user. See how that works? Instead of going backwards, you need to be thinking forward, if that makes any sense. Majority of the people that start t-shirt businesses that fail is because they failed to do this part of thinking who they want to sell to. They think they have it figured out because they're just thinking, all right, once I launch my brand, the world needs this. I need to sell this to everybody. Everybody could benefit from my services. Everybody's going to want my t-shirts. But then reality hits. And nobody knows about the business. Nobody gives a shit about the business. And nobody buys into the services. Nobody buys the product. Nobody buys the t-shirts because that product has no relation to the actual end user. So take it from me and focus on who you want to sell to first. If you're just getting started this year, this is going to be the advice that really helps you out, is understanding who your target audience is. And I'm talking about get into the weeds with it, like very detailed on who exactly you want to sell to. Start creating for that person and start marketing your t-shirts to that person. This year, you want to focus on making the sale easier on yourself. We're not recreating the wheel here. We are basically going back and following the same blueprint that every single person before you has already followed. And that's understanding your customers, understanding your target audience, and giving those people exactly what they want. Now, the next piece of advice I could give you is do not operate outside of your budget. Most of you guys are watching YouTube videos just like this, and you're probably just trying to get as much information as possible. I will be the first one to say, do not be easily influenced by people like myself or anybody else on YouTube. Majority of the people on YouTube are peddling a product. They're trying to get you to buy this heat press, this printer, these transfers, these blank t-shirts, because majority of the people on YouTube are getting paid to talk about products. And some of the people on YouTube are very good salesmen, and they can get you to buy whatever they're talking about. You need to put on your bullshit glasses and be like, all right, who's selling me something and who's giving me genuine advice? The only information that I share on this channel is the actual products that I use. I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I'm not trying to sell you heat presses. I'm not trying to sell you transfers. I'm not trying to sell you blank t-shirts. I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I'm just showing what I use for my business. I run my own brands. I have a retail store. This is how I sell my t-shirts. I actually sell t-shirts. These are the blank t-shirts I use. These are the transfers I use. This is the equipment I use to make all of my products, because I actually sell these products. There's a big difference between somebody that's just showing you content and somebody who actually does this. Think of it like this, and I say this in a lot of videos. Would you take fitness advice? Like if you were on YouTube and you're like, all right, I want to learn how to lose weight. Would you take fitness advice and somebody telling you, all right, this is how you eat right, this is how you work out, this is your workout routine, from somebody that's out of shape, fat, sloppy, and living an unhealthy lifestyle? Would you let somebody that look like that tell you how to live a healthy lifestyle? No, you're going to look at the people who used to be big and they're now in shape because it's proven that their strategy and their advice worked on them. Same exact thing goes for t-shirt content creators. Look at the people who are actually selling t-shirts. Take your advice from somebody that's doing exactly what you want to do. If it's selling t-shirts as a brand, if it's printing for other people, like operating as a print shop, look at those people, see what they're doing, see what they're using. Be able to read through the BS, because there's a ton of BS out there already. I don't need to sell you on why my content is made for you. You could just look at the content that's made, look at my Instagram page, look at exactly what I'm doing, and you be the judge for yourself. If what I say doesn't gel with you, you don't have to watch my videos. You don't have to take the information that I'm sharing and use it for your business if it doesn't match with your own business. You have to remember, everybody that's creating content out here is just sharing information, whether they're getting paid to share that information or whether they're sharing information that's helped their business out. We're all just sharing information. It's up to you as the content consumer to be like, all right, you know what? This makes sense to me. This doesn't make sense to me. Why is this person showing me this heat press when a year ago they were showing me this heat press? Why is this person talking about about these transfers when 2 years ago they were talking about these transfers. You have to understand there is a lot of people out here that get paid to do this, and rightfully so. A lot of these guys create content for a living. That's their full-time gig. So I get it. I understand how that works. Where it starts to become a little misleading is when the content that's shared is heavily biased to a product that they just started using and now it's the best thing in the world. That's where you have to be like, wait a minute. And more and more people come to me and they're like, hey, you know what? I bought this machine because of this person, and can you help me get this thing started? Or can you help me fix this issue? Or I'm having issues with these transfers right here. Have you ever used these transfers? What do you think about these transfers? I can't get them to lay down. Can you help me out? And there's so many people that have these types of issues that it's unfair to the consumer, because majority of the people that are watching my channel right now are trying to start a business to better their situation. And I say this in a lot of my videos, I'm not here to try to put anybody in debt. I'm not here to try to peddle a product to somebody just so I could get the affiliate money, or just because a company's telling me to say this. Because me as a content creator, I have a responsibility of possibly influencing somebody to purchase a product that I'm talking about. And it's never my intention to put somebody in debt or waste money on a product, waste time on a product for my own financial gain. I don't agree with that. I've never agreed with that, because we as content creators in the t-shirt space are trying to help people better their situation. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get people to actually win here. I'm not just trying to make money off of people. I'm never selling t-shirts to you, the watcher. I'm actually never selling anything to you guys, because I'm here to teach you how to do this so you don't have to pay somebody like me to do it for you. So please be careful, especially with the Impressions Expo coming up and all the trade shows coming up. It's going to be very easy for you to get influenced into buying into something that could potentially put you into debt. And I'm talking about the big printers. You're going to be seeing a lot of DTF printers out there, and you're like, man, I'm going to be printing transfers for myself. And then you figure out that that printer comes with a huge price tag, and that printer comes with a lot of maintenance, and that printer isn't everything that it was cracked up to be. You're going to be seeing a ton of content out there of people running these printers, but you have to remember, what are you getting that printer for? Are you getting it to print for yourself, or are you getting it to print transfers for others? This goes back to understanding your target audience before you get into a certain business. Understanding who you're going to be selling that service to will ultimately help you make those decisions, whether it's buying an embroidery machine, DTF printer, DTG printer, sublimation printer, whatever big investment you're trying to make to grow your business. Do your homework. Do your own research. Do not let somebody on YouTube tell you what you need. Let the people on YouTube explain how something works, show you how to troubleshoot it, how to set it up, but don't let them tell you what to buy. And I'm saying this because I'm a content creator and I understand the responsibility that I have as a content creator. And it's never my intention to put anybody in debt, because I understand the people that are watching me are trying to better their situation. Can't stress that enough. So remember, put those BS glasses on, and really, when you consume this content, understand who's bullshitting you, who's trying to sell you something, who's trying to shove these products down your throat, and who's actually giving you the right information that you need. There's a handful of good content creators out there that are giving you honest business advice, and there's a whole ocean full of BS content creators out there just trying to move some products for these companies, and they don't give a shit about you. So remember, the content that I share is just what works for me and my business. That's all I'm showing you. These are the heat presses I use, these are the transfers I use, the blank t-shirts I use, the embroidery machine I use, the equipment I use to make the products that I sell in my retail store, where I sell the t-shirts I make, the hats I make, the hoodies I make. I actually sell t-shirts. I'm only sharing with you how I market my stuff and the stuff I use, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. That's all that's shared on this channel. You can use the information I share, or you could care less about the information I share, but that's all I'm doing here. So remember, operate within your budget. Don't go crazy. Don't buy a bunch of crazy equipment right out the gate that you don't need, because it's just going to put you in debt. Nobody wants to start a business digging themselves out of a hole. That doesn't make any sense. We want to get to the profit as soon as possible. You can always upgrade your equipment later. Get something that fits your budget, get something for you to get your feet wet, get something for you to put the reps in. I don't care what machine you buy, I don't care what transfers you use. Figure out who you want to sell your products to, who you want to sell your services to. Buy equipment that fits your budget and get to the money as soon as possible. Which brings me to the last thing, and that's basically take your time. Start slow. Really plan out your business. There's so many people that come out here and they're like, all right, I need to get my LLC. I need to go get my business bank account. I need to do all this. I need to trademark all my designs. I need to copyright all this stuff. Slow down. If you've never sold a product before, take it easy. There's so many people that are like, all right, I need to do all this legal stuff right out the gate. If you're asking me, I say don't do that. I say start selling some stuff first and then eventually legitimize your business. But right out the gate, you don't have to do all that. One, nobody's stealing your designs if you've never put a design out. Two, the only reason somebody would be stealing your designs if it was a popular design. If that design is not popular, nobody's gonna see it, nobody's stealing it. People only steal stuff that's making money. For example, whenever people bootleg Nike shoes, they're bootlegging the popular shoes. Nobody's bootlegging the generic shitty shoes that are left on shelves. Nobody cares about that stuff. They only make fakes of the popular shoes. Same exact thing goes for designs and stuff like that. People are only interested in stealing something that's popular. Every single design that you make could be popular, but if you've never put it out, how do you know if it's popular? So you're gonna trademark every single design or copyright every single design, even if it makes you no money. So you'd rather waste your money doing that and protecting your design than putting it out. That right there is a weird way of thinking, right? For myself, I don't believe in that. For myself, I'd rather put the design out, see if it's gonna be popular. And if you do get traction on it, then you can explore your options of protecting that design. But if you only sold 10 of those t-shirts, you're gonna trademark every single design that you sell 10 t-shirts of. That to me isn't a popular design. You could start an online store through Shopify, Big Cartel, any of these platforms, or even an Etsy store, just using your own social security number and start selling products. A lot of times people wanna register their business and their brand, and then 6 months from now or a year from now, they figure out that the business is a lot different. They don't even like that brand name or that business name no more, or they switch their whole thing. They start out to be a brand and they notice that there's more money in operating as a print shop, and now they're operating everything under the brand's name. So take your time, plan it out, don't jump the gun. I know everybody wants to be a business owner, but save your time, save your money, save the headaches. I know this is probably really backhanded information that you're getting right now because you've listened to a million other business gurus telling you gotta legitimize your business out the gate. You don't want nobody stealing your brand name, your business, and I get it, that's cool. But if nobody knows about your brand name or your business, nobody's gonna be checking for it to steal. And on top of that, once you trademark something, just because you have that piece of paper that says you own this, waving it in the air doesn't do nothing. You need to fight for that in court. So if you don't have the budget for a legal team to fight for your trademark, meaning you need to have a budget and money to back that trademark up, because just because you trademark something and you go online and say, I own this, that doesn't stop people from stealing it. Somebody can steal that design, infringe on your trademark, make tens of thousands of dollars, and then shut the business down. And by the time you catch wind of it, they've already moved thousands of units. Then they shut the business down and steal something from somebody else. That's how cold the game is. So if you want to trademark stuff, by all means go for it. My advice is don't do it right out the gate. Get your feet wet, see what your products are moving like, see what your target audience wants, put in the reps. That's all I'm talking about. You can always legitimize what you're doing after the fact, but you want to get the sales first. You want to see what the people want, because the market will never lie to you. Whatever you put out into the market, if the people buy, then the market will respond. But if nobody buys that product, it's because the market thinks it's trash. And would you want to invest all of that time and money trademarking a trash product that nobody wants? No. So you have to put the stuff out so you get it. But once again, this is just my opinion on everything. It's up to you guys if you guys want to actually listen to what I'm saying, but this is just my opinion on if I were to get started in 2025, this is the stuff that I wish somebody would have told me early on to save me money, save me time, and help me get to the profit a lot faster. If you guys have any questions, please, please, please leave it in the comments for me. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, leave it in the comments for me. Once again, this is just my opinion. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Big Brandoh TV. You could ask questions over there too. All right, catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.